This research is hugely important. We know our demand for net zero energy targets means we're seeing an increase in the man-made structures such as offshore wind, whether it's floating or static, on the seabed. And so really understanding the impact of that on the marine environment is increasingly important. So here at Essex, we're the first research project in the UK to go out and charter our own vessel that is not a research vessel or has not been designed for research in mind, and enter an active wind farm to sample between the turbines and away from the wind farm itself to ascertain the impact on the seabed. We know that seabed sediments are really important for storing carbon, and we call this blue carbon. What we don't know is what the impact on this blue carbon is, or the carbon dynamics in the sediment might change in relation to these hard structures. So whether they provide a sort of protective capacity because those seabed sediments are now inaccessible for other activities, or whether they have a disruptive effect.
So we know seabeds are a massive store of carbon, one of the largest on the planet, and using these seabeds as a nature-based solution to potentially increase the amount of carbon we store within them can be a mitigation tool to help lessen the bad effects of climate change.
This is hugely important for our students to follow this process the whole way through. So instead of already receiving samples or analysing other people's data that's been collected for them, they've been there from the beginning of the journey. So planning what we're doing on the cruise, how we're going to collect those samples, and then doing their own analyses on their samples themselves. There is hope that this research will feed directly into policy decision-making, particularly in terms of environmental impact around offshore wind. We know we're going to see an increase in offshore wind within the seabed, and so quick decisions are going to need to be made by policymakers, and so this science will help underpin and support some of that decision-making.